What is up, everybody? To Reverse TV here today. So on Christmas Day, there was still a lot of console battles being had. Console wars are still going on, apparently, which is pretty hilarious. But this Sony fanboy said that Xbox has a long way to go to catch up to PlayStation. Now, I don't know if these Sony guys they're only going by console sales, because Xbox Series consoles has definitely changed a lot of things from the Xbox One generation in a lot of good ways. So I don't know what they're going by when it says, hey, he has a long way to catch up to PlayStation. I mean, he acts like people can't prefer Xbox over the PlayStation. So I'm assuming he only means by console. So he's just going by people buy the console. When it's like, it's a whole different ball game with this generation. I'm pretty sure companies would probably rather have people buying their software more, or either buying their services, or just buying hardware sales. But let's see what people have to say about this. People were not too happy about this post right here. This guy says, I disagree completely and think Xbox is ahead of PlayStation in every single way. It isn't ahead in console sales, something that has no impact on me whatsoever. I never played more incredible games in my life for an incredible, affordable way. Yeah, Game Pass is definitely a game changer. You play all these great games for a low price. I mean, it's literally like you having a Blockbuster or like or Netflix, or like a Netflix rental service in your console. You don't got to leave the house. So Netflix is definitely, Game Pass is definitely something that is amazing that PlayStation just doesn't have, or the equivalent is not really at all similar to the Game Pass. So this guy says they only count consoles until they aren't leaving anymore. Where would they go? Where would they go then? Games and value for my dollars what matters to me. Selling consoles isn't my business. That's on the corporations. Yeah, as a consumer, you should care what helps you out. You really cares how much these companies, billion and trillion dollar companies, sell. It doesn't make any sense to me as a consumer. Sony has a long way to go to catch up to Microsoft. Not really. I mean, as long as Sony stays doing what they are doing the best, and Microsoft giving me games that Sony doesn't cover, it's a win for me. They will never catch up. And Q1 2022 is about to widen that gap significantly. So he's talking about Horizon Forbidden West. They are really hoping that game does amazing numbers or something. Let's see. Does it matter as long as we all enjoy games? Who cares? Exactly. I gotta agree with that statement right there. PlayStation has a long way to go to catch up to Xbox. Catch up to in what? Games? How good they are subjective. Many don't like story-driven games. I do. I never play Halo, whereas many are huge fans. In conclusion, both are good. Please stop the console wars. As soon as GT7 comes out with Horizon Forbidden West, it's over. Yeah, the Xbox just ceases to exist when those two games come out. The only right answer is both. I kind of would buy both or just an Xbox, but that's just me. Long way to go was the Xbox One / PS4 era. We are in a new generation now. Seems next year would do it. Just enjoy games with PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, portable phone, whatever. It doesn't need to catch up. It's doing just fine as it is. I kind of agree with that too. It is doing just fine. Like, there's many different companies that has rival companies like fast food chains. You got McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. People who sell beverages, you got Coca-Cola, Pepsi. It's like they're all making money. They don't gotta try to rush for number one spot. As long as you're number two and the number three, you're still making money. So I don't know. But these guys are still going on about this console war nonsense. Homie didn't even sip the eggnog before starting the pool. Yeah. Fun fact, Xbox doesn't need to catch up with PlayStation. They just need to keep making content that gamers enjoy. And I don't think it will ever, sadly, but this doesn't stop me from loving my Series S. I have an Xbox Series X and a PS5, and my PS5 doesn't get played much and collecting dust. They are both as good as each other. Buying Bethesda caught them up in a lack of the first-party game department. They still have a better service in Game Pass. Xbox just needs to do more risky new IPs and do them well, and this generation will be more interesting. Yeah, them buying Bethesda is definitely a game changer. Because you still got fanboys complaining and saying, hey, why aren't these Bethesda games coming to PlayStation 5? Like, the most recent one was like, hey, why is Senua's Hellblade 2 not coming to Game Pass? That's about Ninja Theory. Like, yeah, because it's kind of like each Xbox exclusive that gets announced, they kind of beg for it to come on PlayStation. So apparently they're doing something right now. And people are begging for Xbox exclusives. What do you mean, exclusive-wise? Because they aren't like anywhere else, and the console is doing great with the little exclusives they have now. So imagine once the exclusives start dropping. I doubt they'll ever catch up to PlayStation, but I'm betting they are far more competitive going forward. Xbox doesn't really care about catching up to PlayStation. Their real competitors are Amazon and maybe Google. But does it even need to? I mean, is there no room for both? With a clear leader and gamers enjoying both. Next year alone, we get God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Starfield. If you play on both ecosystems, gamers are winning across the board. Yeah, and Nintendo has some pretty good stuff coming out next year as well, too. So all three consoles actually bring out some good stuff next year. I don't think that actually matters. 20 years Xbox has been around and still adding and growing. Game Pass really shortened the gap. There's still a gap, but it's no longer the Grand Canyon. The reverse is also true. Get that clout, though. Yeah, we definitely got a long way to catch up to the hours put in by the PlayStation community when it comes to the most time on Twitter. Jeez. As a product and device, the Series X is currently way better. Facts, but a lot of blind Sony fanboys need to wake up. Their libraries are over 90% identical. What the F are you guys even fighting for? The other 10%. Xbox has the wrong people behind it. Too much corporate and not enough creativity and vision. And he says $7 for an 8-hour game. Xbox is going in the right direction. Their games are coming, so stop with the catch-up BS. If we are laughing at you. If they couldn't catch up with their two biggest games, Halo and Forza, pretty sure nothing else could. I mean, all people are talking about right now is Halo and Forza, so I mean, I guess if you want to say they can't catch up. And like their other big games haven't even dropped yet. Like the Bethesda games haven't even really dropped yet. So I just don't get what they're talking about here. True, but if PlayStation doesn't get off its deserved ass, not just Microsoft will be on them. They got VR, AR tech, VTech, crypto, Nintendo, China influence. Okay. Don't care. Game where you want. In 22 years, Xbox has yet to publish/produce a game worthy of my money for their console. Just facts. What? Oh, man. In sales, yeah. In hardware, game variety, and value, nah. No, it doesn't. It's already ahead. People who make posts like this on Xmas have no games to play. PlayStation got some third-person games. Xbox got the shooters. Shooters are the top games. People don't understand how big Crossfire X really is. Xbox got to win with that game coming. It's huge. If both Xbox get studios about to drop soon, Sony was never on time with the games. Okay. I think they are making great strides and aren't that far behind. Honestly, if they didn't fumble the bag during the Xbox One generation, I think they would be tied up, if not ahead. They are not like Sega. Xbox is here to stay. It's crazy how you talk so much about something you don't care for. Clearly, they're doing something right for it to be on your entire Twitter feed. So this whole Twitter feed talking about Xbox, he's one of those guys. Yeah, he's definitely a Sony fanboy at that point. If all they do is talk about Xbox, and Xbox is so bad, it just stays in their minds 24/7, though. Make that make sense. If Xbox isn't doing what they need to do. Let's see. Catch up in what way? Clearly, you dear, I don't know what he's trying to say here. In terms of console sales, sure, through their services are nicely matched. Question, this is kind of a vague statement. It's referring to sales or first-party exclusives. PlayStation is an Olympic sprinter. Xbox is just a couch potato. Wow. To me, both consoles have games that people will like. As someone who owns both, no. This is the most biased comment section and post I have seen all day. Merry Christmas. Who has taught you this cringe? I am all about Xbox. I don't care about PlayStation game or console sales, just like I don't care about Nintendo game or console sales. I am happy with my Xbox Series X and Series S with Xbox Game Pass. Saved me so much money in 2021. Okay. Look, another fanboy clown. I am a PS5 player. It's my go-to system, but trust me, Xbox is absolutely zero to worry about in terms of catching up. It's doing just fine. And I actually bought an Xbox Series X and have zero regrets. 2022 will be amazing for both, so I don't know why you are trying to prove here. Xbox is fine, competing in their own lane. People judging Sony on their prior generations is a good competing generation. That's all you can ask for. What is this comment right here? So he says, oh look, poor people on Christmas. Guess the welfare check doesn't cover electronics. Jeez. Arguing about console wars is corny and lame. And you have a long way to go before you get a personality that isn't hating on a plastic box. Man. So these guys were definitely not happy with this guy's comments. This guy says, bro, it's Christmas. Y'all are on another level of whack. Good God, I'm done checking this guy out for Apple for the day. Sorry, but as a person who owns and have owned all consoles and religiously plays video games, most likely more than 90% of these people on this post, I fully disagree. Xbox hits different, sorry. They won't ever catch up. 360 era was the closest they'll ever get. Xbox will never catch up. They're relying on a dead platform to prop themselves up. I mean, if you live in your own echo chamber and ignore the year Xbox had, sure. Okay, so this is when Xbox had more nominations than Sony for the Game of the Year awards. Okay. I can play games. I can play PlayStation games on Xbox without RetroArch. Can PlayStation say the same thing of Xbox games? No one cares. Yeah, so I'm gonna conclude it right here. People were not too happy about this guy's post. Xbox has a long way to catch up. This post is very vague at that, so nobody really knows what he's truly talking about and catching up. Whether he's talking about exclusives or he's talking about sales. Which was he talking about? Xbox needs to catch up, but. Like I said before, Xbox is doing amazing things this generation. They have definitely learned from the Xbox One generation. Xbox Series consoles is definitely a great start for a new generation of consoles. They're definitely competing this generation, not like that last generation. So definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this guy's post. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.